Hey everyone, Proto here, bringing you the first episode of what I call and hope becomes a thing, Flight Academy, the real pilot training. Nothing against Respawn Entertainment, but their designated training only teaches you most of the controls and a few other minor combat tricks and tactics. However, tactics such as advanced parkour, wall hanging, and proper approach to Titan engagement is completely looked over. You do get the occasional tips before a match loads up. That being said, I just hit level 50 of Generation 8, and I am only now figuring out that the arc cannon not only drains vortex shields, but can also knock rockets out of the air. That would have been great to know when I was Generation 5 and I was actually using the arc cannon. All that being said, I think the real training regimen is in need. So, I want to first start off by talking about the most basic of tools that people tend to neglect, the jump kit and the data knife. For those who aren't familiar with these terms, the jump kit is what allows you to double jump, wall run, and use the zipline. Whenever you hit A or space on the PC, that is if you're using the default controls, you are using your jump kit. The data knife is what not only allows you to hack into specters and heavy turrets, but also to hang onto walls. Wall hanging seems to be a lot more common as of late. However, I don't see it being used as a tactic, but rather by accident. Hitting the aim button while running on a wall, or even if you're jumping towards a wall, initiates the wall hanging. People probably use this by accident when they're ejecting and they're aiming down to probably lock on with their archer rocket or whatever, and then they'll hang onto the wall, and then they're just easy pickings. Now, proper movement is absolutely necessary to not only pilot survival, but Titan efficiency. I will get to the Titan portion of my movement training in later videos. For now, I will focus on the pilot movement. At the beginning of the game, there are generally no Titans on the field. Some people will have burn cards that will give them a Titan right away, or let them get their Titan faster. But I don't see this happening in majority of the games. So I guess it's okay to stick to the ground at this point. That being said, if you are down there, especially if you're playing attrition, kill all the grunts you see. Everything in this game that you kill will give you reduced time towards your Titan build, and if you have a Titan and you're inside your Titan, it'll reduce your Titan core abilities build time. When it comes to pilot versus pilot, most people believe that it comes down to who is the better shot. That's not entirely true. Sure, your weapon skills come into play, but your weapon proficiency won't always help you when your enemy is jumping all over the place, wall running, or just wall hanging. Sorry for the COD references here, but in COD I would get a lot of crap for bunny hopping and being called a noob. I didn't really care because it was a good tactic, especially when paired with drop shotting. There's no prone feature in Titanfall, so you can't drop shot. However, you do have better jumping capabilities. Why don't you use it? If a pilot's coming at you from behind and you're running away, chances are that they're as fast as you are. And once you get into an open area, it will come down to who's better. However, if he's following you, chances are he's getting a few shots off. You're going to be at a disadvantage. If you have stim pack, that won't really apply because with stim pack you can run faster and you'll get health regen. So you aren't going to get beat by running on foot. If there's walls to use to run away, you can try using the walls, but your opponent can use them too. A good tactic I like to use is when I'm about to turn a corner and an enemy's following from behind, I'll jump up, go on the wall above the doorway, hang there until he comes, and then I can do whatever I want with him. Execute him, drop kick him, or jump kick him, which is my favorite thing to do. Or I can just shoot him. Pilot versus pilot aside, fighting a Titan on the ground is a surefire way to not only get yourself killed, but anger your teammates. I don't know why I always see this, but my teammates are always on the ground with their heavy rockets or their sidewinders shooting at a Titan. Why? Not only are you in plain sight, but especially if they have those explosive weapons like the 40mm cannon or the triple threat, they're gonna hit you. There's no way you can escape from those. In Capture the Flag and Hardpoint, I don't get as upset because pilot kills don't really mean anything. It's just for their own personal XP and their own stats. So that I'm a bit more lenient on, but Pilot Hunter and Attrition, I hate when my teammates are on the ground. So all Titan weapons are great and all, except that plasma railgun. I hate that gun. So besides the chain gun and the arc cannon, if you're on a rooftop, the Titan's gonna have a super hard time taking you out of the air. I rarely get kills with the 40mm cannon while someone's ejecting. I think I've gotten like 2 out of the entire like 70 or 80 that I have. So it doesn't really happen often. Triple threat, you're especially not getting with that because of it has to land before it can explode. The plasma railgun, it's hard. However, if you do get an ejecting kill like that, I think you get the pull harder achievement. So there's always that. Good luck to those people who are trying to get that, by the way. That being said, use your jump kit. Get to the higher vantage points while confronting a Titan. Not only do you have the weapons to handle them, but you also have the cover when you're on rooftops. They can't see behind a generator that's up on top of the roof. if they don't have the same viewpoint. Also, don't give away free points. If you don't have the vantage point on them, or if you're on the ground, then don't start shooting at them. Just run away. You're not going to be a Titan in a gunfight, especially if you're on a level playing field. Also, chances are that your team will also have Titans on. If not, then I don't really have any advice for you guys. You're probably screwed. So, leave it to the other Titans on your team. And I know I said earlier that the first few minutes of the game it's okay to be on the ground. While this is true, it's still better to be on a building. And by being on a building, I don't mean running on top of the building, I mean using the walls to run. Wall running gives you a huge boost of speed, and if you time your jumps properly, it gives you an even bigger boost. Also, when you're jumping off the walls, what happens is you get to carry your momentum forward, or sideways if you start jumping towards the side. Whatever direction you start jumping towards, that's where your momentum is going to carry you. The map I've gotten the most first strikes on is no doubt Angel City. Sure, this is the smallest map, so that probably is what helped me get all these first strikes, but it's also due to the amount of buildings. I'm pretty sure that map has the most buildings in the game, and they're also closely condensed, that if you're running on them, you can chain with other walls. Regardless if I spawn as IMC or Militia, I'm usually the first to get to the center of the map, and having the knowledge of this terrain helps me. So in all shooters, knowing your terrain is important because it'll help you decide what weapon to use. You're not going to use snipers on a small map. You're also not going to use a shotgun on a large map, unless you are going for challenges or other sort of things like that. So terrain knowledge is important, especially in Titanfall. One last thing I do want to emphasize is that parkour is a large aspect of this game. And parkour, by definition, is the ability to get from point A to point B as quickly and efficiently as possible. So, that being said, I don't just mean from getting you from your spawn point to the enemy spawn point. Although that is point A to point B, what if you aren't at the designated point A? Does that mean that you can't get to point B? Of course not. This game's also very big on improvising. So if you see a wall that's close to the ground, chances are you can jump to it. If this video helped you, or if you enjoyed my content, then a like down below would be much appreciated. If I missed something, or if there's something you want to clarify, a comment, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. If you want to see more Flight Academy, the subscribe button's down below. Thanks for watching. Bye.